Bruce Wayne, Batman, has one of the best physiques in all of comic book history. But that begs the question, is this physique actually achievable in real life? Could you actually get a physique like this in real life? And especially, can it be done naturally? Let's find out. And stick around to the end of this video where I'll give you 3 different tips on how to achieve a physique like his if it is actually achievable. Firstly, let's actually look up some of the stats for the Caped Crusader. According to Google AI, it looks like he comes in at 6'2" and his weight is 210 pounds. That's actually a pretty reasonable size, especially at 6'2". That means you're going to have a good amount of muscle, but you're not going to be overly bulky. You're not going to come in looking like a bodybuilder or anything like that. You're actually going to have a really good size. And might I say, 6'2", in my opinion, is like one of the most perfect heights there are. So if you're 6'2", congratulations, you've made it. And I like this little breakdown that it has right here where it kind of compares the comic book to all the other actors' heights. Shout out to Lego Batman, one of the best. Isn't that Keanu Reeves? Didn't he play that? Let me know in the comments down below if you know. Also, let me know which live action is your favorite Batman. I have to go with either The Dark Knight or Batman Begins. Honestly, Batman Begins is super underrated. I don't know why people don't rave about it as much. It must just be because The Dark Knight was a masterpiece. Regardless, 6'2" and 210 pounds is definitely achievable. But what about the way he actually looks? Now, of course, this is going to depend on which version of Batman we're talking about. If we're talking about someone like a Robert Pattinson, Ben Affleck, or Christian Bale, then yeah, this is definitely going to be an achievable physique. It has been achievable. They have achieved it. Now, I'm not sure if they were on any gear or anything like that. I have my questions about some of them. I think Christian Bale looks totally natural for sure, and I definitely think it's very achievable. But it probably varies even more when we're talking about the Batman from the comics, because as you could see in some of the shots, he looks like absolutely massive. I've even found some where he looks like a straight up bodybuilder. Like, this is insane right here. Like, this looks like someone that would win the Mr. Olympia competition. Look at those thighs, like the way that they pop right there, and he's got those skinny knees and the huge calves. Whoever designed this, whoever drew this, is very familiar with bodybuilding and the human anatomy, so props to them. So in my opinion, this is definitely not achievable, especially not naturally. Maybe there's some professional bodybuilders out there that could look something like this on stage, but not even in their everyday life are they going to look like that. It's going to have to be like a stage ready kind of physique. But what I'm looking for is something that's more obtainable. Could you obtain this physique and actually stay like that? And I think some of his more lean physiques where he's still super muscular like this are probably like the quintessential superhero look. He's got the slim narrow waist, big shoulders and arms, a big chest, a really good V taper, and pretty good sized legs as well. What's not to like about this physique? And I kind of forgot that he's actually considered like the strongest human on Earth. Like, I've seen stats like where he's benching basically 1,000 pounds, which is absolutely insane. Like, benching 1,000 pounds is crazy and unheard of, and I think the raw world record is still in the 700s. I don't think 800's been achieved yet. So this would make him not only the strongest man on Earth, but it would make him probably the strongest man of all time in terms of upper body strength. On top of this, it's not even his body that's the strongest, it's his mind and his brain and how smart he is. But we don't care about that stuff for this video. For this video, we care about the physique. And side note, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment to let me know down below. And if you want any sort of training plan to get physiques like your favorite characters, check those out in the description. All right, back to the video. So if we're looking at some of Batman's bigger versions, those types of physiques, in my opinion, are definitely not achievable, especially not naturally. However, the live action versions, in my opinion, are definitely very achievable, and some of the lean comic book versions are also very achievable, with a physique like this probably coming at the top end of achievability, especially naturally, given your genetics. Keep in mind, a lot of people use genetics as an excuse, but it's also a really good excuse sometimes. Depending on your body type, no matter if you train and eat perfectly, you may not be able to get a physique this good, and that's totally fine. You can get the best physique that you can get, which is the best physique that you can get, right? So to summarize it, is it possible to get a physique like Batman's? Yes, I think so, given his more lean and natural looking physiques. But how would you actually do it? Well, it turns out I actually have a full Batman training program that I'll link in the description down below, so check that out if you want the full program. But in summary, here's how I would do it. First off, you have to have that superhero kind of look. You're gonna have to have really wide shoulders, a small narrow waist, and pretty good legs to create that kind of V-taper / X shape to your body. So you're going to have to really focus on targeting the shoulders, and for those shoulders, I really like building them up with things like cable lateral raises or dumbbell lateral raises. In the arms, every superhero has to have good arms. You also have to have that plate, that armor-like plate for the chest, so you're going to have to target the chest, the upper chest, do things like your incline benches, your dumbbell incline bench, things like that. To have just the overall bulk of his physique and have the mass that he has, I would recommend doing a lot of compound lifting as well. Now, it's not necessary to build each one of those individual muscles, but to really pack on a lot of muscle really quick, that's probably how I would do it. So you'll want to implement things like bench press, bent over rows, squats, maybe even some deadlifts and stuff like that. Now, to get those quads that really pop, I would do things like your squats for sure, things like leg extensions and leg presses as well. On top of this, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have a really strong back, so you're gonna wanna do things like lat pull downs, pull-ups, and rows, and all sorts of different variations of those. And then number one, just make sure that you have a really healthy physique in terms of your body weight. Make sure that you're getting enough protein per day, which I'm always recommending at about 0.7 to 1 times your body weight in grams of protein per day. So if you weigh 200 pounds, try to get about 200 grams of protein per day or just slightly under that. This will help you build muscle and maintain it as you're cutting down body fat. Make sure that you're having the right amount of nutrition for you. You can use an app like MyFitnessPal or MacroFactor or something like that. What I recommend is just kind of getting a game plan, tracking where you are, and just make sure that you're eating the right amount of calories based on if you need to gain muscle or lose body fat. So going back to the original question, in summary, could you achieve this physique? I think you definitely could based on some of his leaner physiques, not on his more bodybuilding-esque physiques. Could you get as strong as him? Absolutely not. Sorry about that. And what are my tips on how to do it? Well, review those in the video or check out the training guide down below. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Who would you like to see next? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.